Hey there folks, and welcome to another Factorio Mod Spotlight. I'm Exterminator, and thank you so much for joining me today. And in this Spotlight, we are covering the Rampant Resources mod. So this is made, of course, by the same person who made the very popular Rampant mod, which has to do with enemies, but this mod is purely to do with resources. They just named it the same, so all their mods have consistency, but don't let that fool you. So basically, what this does is this makes all resources act the same way as oil acts, meaning that they are infinite and so they slowly decrease over time, but never actually run out, and they get to like a minimum threshold, and then will just like always provide that amount, basically exactly like oil does. And as we can see here, when we mouse over a resource node, it's all in percents now rather than full amounts. And then if you actually mouse over it in the map as well, it's also in a percent. So for example, this iron is 72,000%. And you can kind of see these here. So this, I think this is kind of cool because, you know, there are definitely some folks who want to play this way, or maybe you want to do a playthrough specific this way, or whatever you want to do with it, really. So you would mine these down, and then they would get to a very low amount, just like oil does, and then it will kind of just always provide that amount. If you don't really like the idea of having to like pick up your old outposts and then go find, you know, and then like move the stuff somewhere else. I mean, you would obviously need to continually expand your outposts because this would eventually get so low you couldn't run like a big base off of it anyway, but it would still provide something. So I think that's pretty neat. There are some settings here in the startup. Keeping in mind, there's a note on every single one of these that says changing this value will cause existing worlds to regenerate. So you probably want to mess with these, maybe do some testing and then get them to where you want before you start a playthrough. Again, you could change them during your playthrough, but it will regenerate the whole world, which basically means that you may lose some things. So all of these are the default settings. The explanations are a little bit odd to understand, or maybe I'm just bad at understanding things. But you can mess with all of this. So you can do the minimum yield amount, basically, which is a minimum percent of the original amount that will consider this resource depleted. So basically, it says here, so default is 0.2, which means, or 0.25, which means 20% of the original yield on a resource tile. So once it gets down to 20%, that's basically the minimum. You could change this, raise or lower it. Infinite resource normal. So the average amount each resource tile will be initialized to. So kind of just, yeah, the normal amount that every tile will be. Once the amount left in the resource reaches the minimum, it will stop decreasing in terms of yield. Amount depleted is the amount removed each time the resource is mined, changing, so default's 15,000. Infinite resource depletion amount, default's 1, the amount removed from the resource, amount per unit of resource created. You guys can read through these if you want. You can basically set a maximum as well. You can mess with these all that you want, and kind of just shape it to how you want to play. And that's the mod. It's very straightforward. It's very popular. It was released just a few days ago, and it's already like several thousand downloads. I mean, the creator of Rampant is very popular, creates very good mods, so I definitely trust that this will work properly. And I think that's going to do it. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. There is, as always, a link in the description to the mod portal where you can check this out. And if you have any questions, thoughts, leave them below. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.